station. Actually, I'm about to leave the gas station. Just spent $30 on like 8.7 gallons, which is not making me happy because I wasn't happy that the gas prices have been high a month ago when I got like 9.7, and now I'm getting even less. But actually, I have a different question for you guys. How many of you guys are like me and you're just total suckers for the system? Because, like, I'm like, oh, look, my can of pop is almost empty. I should go in the gas station. Well, I had to go in the gas station anyways, but, like, I was like, oh, I might as well go look and see, about getting me a Mountain Dew when I'm over there. And so I'm in there and I'm looking, and then Mountain Dew's like, oh, if are you looking for Mountain Dew? Oh, you would never believe it, but right now we have this special going on, where if you buy two Mountain Dews, you get one for free. And obviously, I was going to buy two anyways, because it's just pointless to go in and buy one bottle, because even though you might drink that one bottle now, you know you're going to want another one later. So you just buy two. So now I'm going to buy two, and now they're going to give me a third one for free. And now I'm like, well, of course I'm going to buy one. Two. So I got two. Three. I have three. I ended up getting Major Melon, um, um, Spark, Mountain Dew Spark, which I don't think I've had yet. I think it's the only one I haven't had. And then obviously, as my freebie, I got the classic regular Mountain Dew. I also got 2 packs of cigarettes that are also an arm and a fucking leg. I was always one of those people, the typical people out there. It's like, I never pay over X amount of money, and if cigarettes ever cost this that much, I'd never pay for them. And here I am paying. I'm gonna say this, and then people in like other states that pay way more are gonna be like, "Pah!" because they'd probably love to pay what we pay, but still, it's like $8 and some change for a pack of cigarettes. That's almost $20 for just 2 packs of cigarettes. And then I put $30 into my gas tank, and that motherfucker will last for 2 weeks. And the 2 packs of cigarettes that I bought, it's only gonna last me for a day. Well, not really a day. It'll be 2 days technically, but like a day and a half. Still, not great. So, am I proud of the amount of cigarettes I smoke? No. Should I probably slow down and or just quit? Yes. Will I? No. So, it all comes down to, you gotta want to quit. That's always, it's like what my dad has always told me, because he smoked every single day for 30 years, and then on his 50th birthday, he smoked one last cigarette, and then he never smoked another cigarette after that. So he went cold turkey, and he's been 20 years now that motherfucker hasn't smoked. And, well, not really. It's actually only been like 15, but it's still, he's getting close on 20. And that's just that whole thing of, like, he always said to me before he quit, and now that he's definitely quit, he still instills the whole fact of, like, until you mentally say, look, I'm gonna quit, like, I'm done, this is it, I don't want this for this or reason or another, you're never gonna quit. So, I didn't realize I had a green light. Fucking sun's so bright that it literally blocks out the lights. It's actually also funny because on my way home and like to work and stuff like that, I usually got music jamming pretty loud, and I'm having a good time in my car on my way, like I said, either to or from work. And and unless my truck does something that makes me feel it, like if it acts funny and I can feel that it feels funny, I really don't think of it too much. But then it's funny, now I'm recording this video, and you guys have the awesomest glare in the world right now. I can see the screen bright as fuck, but now that I'm recording this video, I have no music going, so literally it's silent besides the noises of the truck. There is technically a ladder in the back seat that's rattling around, so if you hear what sounds like loose metal rattling, that's the ladder. I promise you my truck does not sound that bad, but I can still, all the same, hear the motor and everything else sound rough in comparison to what it did even 2 weeks ago. So it's like, yeah, this winters in the state really fucking destroy every car. I mean, my truck was fucked up and broken before the winter came, but now that the winter has come and gone again, my truck is even more beaten down. Like, dude, she's struggling to live. The other thing that I don't really enjoy, but when I speed up to 35 like I'm doing now, which is the speed limit, my front end kind of just is like a game. You hold the steering wheel straight, and it goes straight, but then randomly, it decides we're going left, or now we're going right. And those are tie rods and other things that are bad on this thing, but, so you just have to be paying attention at all times, because literally, like I said, you'll just be going straight and you'll be having no problem. Then all of a sudden the car's like, drag to the right, and you have to pull real hard to the left, or vice versa. So it's just a fun little game people like me who have broken things have to drive. Actually, funny enough, I don't know if it is. There's this guy in like a work truck. He's like hardcore on my ass, which is fine because I'm doing the speed limit. He's turning now, anyways. But I just looked in my rearview mirror and realized that he's like some old dude anyways. Which is very odd to have a dude like older than you being like riding your ass, because normally it's the other way around. See, but I don't like this. The car in front of me is only doing 30 in a 35, and I'm not really sure why you're doing this to me. But, oh shit. Oh man, so yeah, so what's up, you know? How's your morning going? It's morning. It's morning for everybody else, but you know, it's like nighttime for me. So I'm still like in that tired-ish mood where it's like, oh shit, that was a big hole, I drove right into it. The goddamn red light, red light, red light. Stop! I was doing like 20 and a 25. If I couldn't have stopped, I think my car shouldn't be on the road, to be honest. Sorry you guys have such a glary view. You know, this... I don't know why. I feel like I've recorded them before and I don't remember the sun being this fucking, like, blinding. But, hey, we're about to police... We're about to pass the police station. We're about to police. Is what came out of my mouth originally. That's another big hole that I will not hit with my truck, because that's just dumb. Here's another one. I'm gonna super zoom around. See, and she hit it. Her entire car just rocked side to side. So now you understand why I avoided it, bitch. Everybody's such in a hurry in the morning, and I understand I'm leaving work, but my whole thing is like, if you're that late to get to work and you gotta fucking ride my ass, or it doesn't even have to be to work, wherever you're going, I don't know, people go too fast in this world. I like to just slow and go, you know? If I could drive 10 miles per hour all the way to work, I would, but I can't, because it's against the law. You can't go fast, and you can't go slow. You do the speed limit that they fucking tell you to go, and that's what I do. Some people would even say, maybe I even brown nose it a little bit, you know, which means that literally I do the exact speed limit. You can't say I'm speeding, and you can't say I'm going too slow. If you tell me to do exactly 25, I will put my pedal to the floor and make me go 25. Don't get me wrong, have I sped? Hell yes, I've sped. Fastest I've gotten in this truck is about 110, and speedometer tops at 120. I'm sure the truck would have gone way past 120, and I had really no reason to not... Yeah, I think I was going to say that right, but it sounded weird in my head. But I had no reason why I needed to slow down, besides the fact of doing 110, and this was like right when I got it. So it was in a lot nicer shape. there's also really no reason to be doing. You know, it's one thing when you're racing somebody and they really done pissed you off, so you're speeding, doing over the speed limit or whatever, you know, and going fast. And, you know, maybe they're still catching up with you and they're like, oh shit. And so they, you know, and so that's why you're like, fuck it, I'm topping this motherfucker out. But see, mine was just circumstances in the sense that I was on a highway. I was doing 80, which is over the speed limit already, but it was only 75, so it wasn't like I was horribly speeding. But all the same, I was speeding, and it got to this really, really steep hill that everybody always talks about because when you're on it, it's a really flat highway, and when you're on it and you get to this really steep hill, and you're going down it, there's always cops at the bottom of it, and baby, she sounded good, and that person's now not catching up to me now. What are you gonna do? Now I'm slowing down because I got to turn. See, I love doing that. It's 25. People want to ride my ass the entire fucking way. And then it turns to 35 and I'll floor it. And then I'll catch up to 35 real fucking quick. And then I see him in my rearview mirror and they're like, oh shit, he's like trying to race because I was riding his ass. And then I slow way down and then I turn. Almost causing them to rear-end me. Because again, you'd be at fault. I was turning. Maybe there was a cat in the road and I stopped last second. I mean, you can't just rear end the person who's turning. You gotta wait to make sure they're turning. If you're impatient, I'm sorry. I've never caused an accident that way, but you know, I live in that mindset. And but anyway, so I was going down this hill, and as I crest the hill, I noticed there was no police officer at the bottom. Which, like I said, I had driven on this highway myself probably like 100 times. And there would always been a cop at the bottom, and like I said, plus anybody else I'd ever known that'd been on it, they'd either gotten a ticket on it for going fast, or you know just talked about the fact of having to drive on it. Would also always say about how there was police officers at the bottom of the hill. So when I crest that hill and I seen there was no cop, it was like light bulb. Because the weird way the highway set up is like normally every highway you drive on is like next to each other, so there's always like the in-between passes. Right at the bottom of the hill is the last in-between pass that you could actually get to because the highway ends up separating and the one end goes down and the other end goes up. So you drive like probably 10 miles on a stretch where a cop going the other direction can't get to you coming that way. Like it's like being in a tunnel in the sense you're kind of like separated, trapped on your own lanes. And so because of that, knowing that getting to the bottom of that hill, that there was obviously still a chance that a police officer could pull into that spot before I got to the bottom, in which then yes, I would have gotten in trouble. But I think I was the same thought as everybody else because I was actually behind the semi-truck who was doing 110 miles per hour and still pulling on me. And I was keeping up with him for a really long time, giggling because, you know, I have a buddy of mine who tells me that truck drivers don't do over 100 miles per hour because either A, they can't do it, like they can't get that speed, and then B, because they wouldn't because they'd lose their license. And I've been on enough highways and been around enough people I know that drive truck to know that he's just really wrong and that people definitely do it. So to actually get to drive at that speed with a semi-truck was pretty awesome. But yeah, so, you know, it wasn't really too much faster than I was already going. It was only 30 miles per hour faster. All I had to do was press the pedal a little bit firmer to the floor while already cruising downhill at a very steep angle. And I hit the bottom where that cop was doing 110. And like I said, the best part about it was I'm giggling because I'm like, whoa, look at me going, stop blinding the people, man. Like, here I am. Doing 110 110 in my truck, giggling, thinking I'm breaking the law. Look at me, big crazy man. And in reality, I was just sticking with the flow of traffic. Everybody was doing it because, like I said, I think everybody came over that hill and was like, oh, "No cop!" And like semi trucks, vans, didn't matter. Everybody was straight down that hill. So it was a fun time. But that was a few years ago, and I'd say probably in more recent standards of fastest I've gone in it was 80, and that was a couple weeks ago. Somebody tried to pass me on a double yellow, which I know I broke the law having them not pass me, but that's like the biggest dick ass move you could ever do, is be driving behind somebody and be like, fuck this dude, I'm gonna pass him on a double yellow. It was a fucking hill, he could have killed somebody. And so just to further prove my point, I let that little 4-cylinder get right next to my door and I floored it, and I just took the fuck off. We held even for maybe like a second, and then he disappeared behind me. He whipped back over, slammed on his horn like I'm the asshole because I wouldn't let him pass me on a double yellow. And then I just held it. I was like, fuck it, dude, we're going. And then I got up to 80. And then I stopped at the stop sign and I sat there and I waited and I waited and I waited and I waited. And then he finally showed up. Like way later or whatever. And I sat there for a couple seconds while he sat behind me. You know, like, get out of your car, motherfucker. I'll get out of here. I'll whoop your ass for disobeying the law. I'm like a cop, but I'm not at all. Fuck them. I don't like them. Alright, guys, I'm gonna go. I have stuff I gotta do, and then I need to lay down. Actually, funny enough, last night, I woke up at 10 o'clock. I was, like, almost late for work. I woke up at 10 o'clock, and I was like, oh my god, so I had to jump up and get ready and all this other bullshit. But I was so fucking blown away that I missed every single alarm that went off of mine. And I was like, dude, I never do that. Like, something's gotta be wrong. And, then when my alarms started going off this morning, I made the realization that, so apparently I turned on all of my AM alarms and didn't turn on my PM alarms. So that makes complete sense why I never woke up to my alarms, because they never went off. So now we know that next time we set my alarms to make sure to pay attention that I set them for the PM and not the AM. Matthew, I make dumbest mistakes sometimes. But hey guys, if you guys like this video, a like would be much appreciated. If you're already part of the channel, you can share the video. I stopped saying that stuff for a reason, Matt. You need to stop saying it. Anyways, if you want to subscribe, you can click on the fucking bright ass ball spot of the sun. My subscribe thing's gonna be right in the middle of it, because that's how beautiful I am. And then you can click on my face or whatever, wherever the fuck I end up putting it for the playlist for 2022. Thank you for spending your time with me. I'll see you guys tomorrow or tonight. Tonight for me, tomorrow for you. Whatever. Same difference. Bye.